welcome to the show. It's Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today, the trusted choice for interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday, and previewing and reviewing the latest shows from WWE, AEW, New Japan, and everything in between every Saturday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I'm, of course, your host, James J., alongside Kaliko Yachts.
Hey man, we get into it. It's the end of the year, but it feels like wrestling is on a full clip.
Yeah, and we'll definitely be talking all about that. But first, we gotta talk about ourselves, and that is, our interviews came out this last Tuesday with Fabio Makisig, our first interview from the Philippines. A fantastic interview, fantastic human being, fantastic conversation, and then Paradox on the east coast of America. Fantastic interview we had with him. Another fantastic human being. Cannot recommend those interviews enough. Go into the archives to check them out if you haven't already. That brings us to this upcoming Tuesday. We have Nick Luukkonen from. Well, he's not from Finland, but he currently resides in Finland, a part of our friends at Slam Wrestle. We talk about that, his current issues and problems with Dylan Broder and Arthur Arthur, Cosmo the kid-friendly clown. We talk about Aussie football. We talk about his tattoos and a hell of a lot more. A lot of interesting, fun content in that one to see to least. And then on the 18th, we have Shamil, our second ever interview from the country of Russia, Mother Russia. And we're being joined by Andre again as the special guest translator. We talk about formerly his tag team with Khan, his eventual betrayal, his time as the hardcore champion of Russia, his love of CCW, his tattoos, going vegan, and the Carnival of Fire. So lots of interesting things to unpack in that interview this upcoming Wednesday. Then on Thursday the 26th, the day after Christmas, not going to have an interview on Christmas, day after Boxing Day for
The Canadian.
yes. We have John Scrutch on the 31st. We have Ramona, and on January 1st, we have Merrick Brave. And a lot more interviews to come. Check out our social media at Wrestling with E, on X, Reddit, and Instagram for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. Obviously, this will be the last episode recorded of the year, so you definitely want to keep on our social media because we update it regularly. Alright, I think we're done putting ourselves over. No, Kaliko?
I mean, it's a never-ending job to put ourselves over.
And somebody that didn't need to put themselves over actually got put down a bit. Will be maybe a great day for them. But it was a great day for wrestling because we are wrestling with the news. And one of the news articles to come out this week was that Toni Storm has returned to AEW programming. But not the Toni Storm we're used to. She's no longer timeless, but she went back to
OG.
OG? I was gonna say like Punk Princess? Does that sound right?
Something
Indie
like
metal?
that. Punk Princess.
Indie metal girl? Well, anyway, she dropped Timeless Tony Storm. She's back.
She dropped the Timeless and went back to, what's that? Not Mae Young. Was it the Mae Young Classic?
Um, I mean, yeah, I would say the second year Mae Young Classic. The first year
Yes.
Mae Young Classic, she had that little wheeled hat on.
Yeah, she went second year. Second version.
Yeah.
Kind of like Toni Storm version 2.
I low key like that she went back to the Rock version or OG version Toni Storm. You know, there's only so much you can do with a character like Timeless and have it be interesting from week to week. I kind of feel like that version of Toni Storm kind of presented itself more as a world champion than this version. So you kind of give the people a breather, so to speak, and when she does bring it back, the people will pop, you know, legendarily for her when she does bring it back. Because I don't see this being, you know, a forever thing. You know what I mean?
I could see you not seeing it being maybe. I think my theory is that Mariah May broke Toni Storm. Timeless Toni.
One might say she fits Toni Storm because, I mean, not everybody thinks that they're a 1920s actress. I mean, this is the Toni.
Well, that is true.
This is normal, sane Toni Storm.
Broke her back to normal. Gave her the reset default.
Correct. Factory reset.
Factory reset Toni Storm. Got it. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. She's been broke, but it's gonna be interesting to see where it goes because that Timeless Toni Storm she was willing to do whatever it took, but to keep an image. So this one is gonna be interesting to see how she maneuvers it, or whether even she even goes back after her IMA. So it will be interesting with the backstabber thing. So.
Well, I mean, Mariah May unfortunately has been drowning as women's champion. You know, the only things keeping her up is Mina at this point, because that history is already there. So, you know, a Toni Storm rivalry might be the shot in the arm that her title reign kind of needs at this point.
You can make that argument. I just think it's that's the thing though with when it comes to AEW, because it's like everybody wants them to get the title, and when they get it, kind of feels like that they peaked.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't.
And
it's not about, you know, it's about what you do with the title, and it's kind of whenever somebody wins a title, it's like, what now? Like, they don't think far enough into the future to think, okay, well, once they win it, what are they going to do with it? You know what I mean?
yeah, true. But that's a AEW thing. It's kind of like when Joe had it, when prime example, MJF had it, then Joe had it, then Swerve had it, but Swerve didn't have it that long. Then they gave it to Brian just to give it to him, and then Moxley gets it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, okay, what the hell are you doing with it? I mean, what's the point of doing all that? Granted, Toni could only do so much as champion, so she needed to get. Eventually, it was going to happen, and it was just a matter of who was going to do it. And considering that it was Mariah May, everybody was happy with it. But the problem is that taking it for someone who made the title bigger than what it was and not giving them that peg to start with is hard.
Right.
Hard. Ask Cody.
Right.
I mean, Cody's doing a good job, but the problem is that the shoe that he was filling was,
give him another 2 years, he'll be fine. Um, so keeping up on AEW news, and I did want to bring this up, was Ray Phoenix kind of acting like a prisoner of war at this point. People know that he had injury time tacked on to his contract because obviously he was injured. They don't want him to go to WWE. Penta already is almost but confirmed to going to WWE, just waiting for his brother to sign a contract. And if you've been on Ray Phoenix's Twitter as of late, like I said, he's kind of acting like he's a prisoner of war at this point. Like they're not, treating him well. He needed a doctor, and they were not responsive of giving him one that was appropriate for his situation. It does seem like he's low-key trying to get fired, which, obviously makes sense, but what are your thoughts on everything that's going on with Ray Phoenix right now?
If this was WWE doing that, what people would be pissed, to say the least, right?
Right.
So there's your point. There's my answer.
But the only reason we're not talking about it because AEW doesn't have as many eyes on them as WWE. And they're not a publicly traded company. They're traded by a kid that likes playing with toys and talking to Dave Meltzer. But I digress.
But it's just sad. It's rather unfortunate is the better word I'm looking for, because kind of thinks that a person would, if that a person feels that stuck.
Yeah. Do you find it maybe odd or interesting that AEW doesn't fire a lot of people or release a lot of people, but the people that have been released or the people that have been fired, it's been low-key ugly every single time. Like it wasn't an amicable, release.
Like an amicable, yeah, it wasn't, yeah.
Yeah, case in point, CM Punk. Eden Page had problems with the company right before he left. Brian Pillman Jr. And, obviously we're seeing Ricky Starks have the same problem as we speak. So, Cody, Cody was literally made the company. And, he's not speaking about it publicly, but, he's made it pretty clear that the way that he split was not, on good terms with the company.
Ideal, yeah.
Yeah. So, it's interesting to me because I go back to what Effie said, maybe about a week ago, I'd say. He made the comment that the only thing Tony Khan had to do as a boss, that he's ever done as a boss, was fire CM Punk. and that's why it was so emotionally draining for him.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, it's one of those things, man. It's just that you got a guy who's running it, not used to run. Because here's the thing, he's used to running it via as an NFL team, and running it as an NFL team, the business practices are way different. To me, I mean, that's what I get from it. So I mean,
Well,
I don't think
yeah,
I don't think it's is what's the word I'm looking for? It's not as advantageous. Um, so you know,
no, I gotcha. So, going from, people coming back, people trying to leave, to somebody that's low key just making a return to pro wrestling, Tessa Blanchard. Don't remember the last time we talked about her.
oh
Um,
gosh, I love Tessa Blanchard.
but
It's a,
they more or less have confirmed that she's re-signed with Impact Wrestling TNA, and that she will be coming back in the immediate future. Um, I believe the show in Missouri. I want to say. Um, Obviously, this is kind of comes with some skepticism because she was, dubbed a racist and a bully by the locker room, specifically the TNA locker room, where she once again did not leave on feelings,
amicable terms,
amicable
yeah.
terms with TNA. She literally she didn't drop the title. She forfeited the title that she was supposed to defend at Slammiversary. She did not appear at the event, and obviously the title changed hands. So that was like what, 4 years?
4 years ago?
Yeah, something like that. I feel like this is
Feels
just
like
a
it's.
recipe for disaster, but and there is more to the story. But with all the information I just gave you, what are your thoughts?
I mean, but it's a new leadership, new ownership, new leadership, roughly new roster.
Um, kinda. I mean,
I mean, there's a couple holdovers, but for the most part, I mean, who would be her biggest critic there that is no longer there? I mean, maybe Jordan and Grace.
and you would be correct on that. Um, they said, um, they said it was reported that she's supposed to feud with Jordan before um when she comes in because Jordan is actually on her way out. She's expected to sign with NXT. Um,
hmm
and they want her to feud with her, put her over as she, leaves the company. And Jordan has been a very vocal about her dismay for doing the job for Tessa Blanchard or working with her at all. Keep in mind this is all rumor and innuendo. You know, we take this all with a grain of salt. I'd say we don't know if any of this has any weight to it as well.
Any legs.
Right.
hmm I
So,
mean,
yep. What was you gonna say?
it's, 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 it's dicey. I mean, until to me, I met Tessa after all that went down, and I mean, from what the vibe that I got from her, because she did a LAX fan and I can't say it's for sure, so I'm not gonna sit up here and say, oh God, That is the definite answer of, how Blah Blah did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I can only take from what they show me when I see them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and from what I've seen of her, it wasn't the how can I say it? The pleasantries exchange was very good, very beneficial. The biggest key, and I guess the biggest thing people are probably gonna want to look for is that, did she learn the lesson, right?
Right.
Or did she make any behavioral changes to atone for this set? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the only basis you can really look at it from, because the when it comes to allegations of like racism, I take it as serious as anyone. And I also believe if people are coming with receipts, I'm all for it. He said, she said, I mean, it's hard to go from that, right?
Right.
Uh, but from what I've seen of her when I met her, she seemed pleasant. And I'm a black guy, so newsflash, people, I'm black.
I hadn't
So
noticed.
from the gauge that I got from her was very friendly. We had to chop it up for a bit, so I'm not gonna sit up here and just write her off like that
Right.
as of yet. But and I can also keep my eyes keen on, tendencies if it tends to present themselves.
You know, when she left TNA the first time, she was on top. And I'm not saying on top of the women's division. She was on top of the company.
Yeah, she was the company.
Yeah, she was
She
the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Not the women's world champion, the men's world heavyweight champion. So,
the actual, well, it wasn't a men's or a heavyweight champion. They just called it a heavyweight champion.
right. But, for context. So,
Yeah,
you know, when you have the whole company behind you like that, and you're low key essentially the face of the company, it's hard. I'd say it's hard not to get an ego, or not to, feel that you're maybe a little bit more important than you actually are. Obviously that was, she had a fall from grace, to put it nicely, and maybe she learned from that. So I do kind of feel like low key this is a CM Punk situation where, she really has to mind her P's and Q's and walk on eggshells until she could really prove that, what she who she was is not who she is right now. I'd say.
I mean, kind of like not letting her ego get too big.
Right.
I
mean, we'll see what happens
reasonable.
from there
I mean,
on.
that's reasonable. Yeah, that's reasonable. I'm not gonna.
I mean, hopefully, the whole whatever happened with her, was just, you know, a contained, little ego trip that happened, and now she's learned from her mistakes. She's, how do you say it? She's turned to God now, and
Atonement.
yeah,
She did join our. I know she like more military now. That's ours. So yeah, I mean, a lot of things changed.
yeah, but unfortunately, the the wrestling internet community, and especially the women's locker room, cannot be as forgiving. So, even if she does, do a 360, it doesn't necessarily mean that, she's going to be accepted. It's just a matter of how she deals with that. You know what I mean?
Man, please. I mean, if I've seen locker rooms where it's worse, and that not necessarily like NBA locker room or not, or wrestling locker room or NFL wrestling. There was a guy who was on the Philadelphia Eagles who got caught on camera saying it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And he went right back to practice and did what the hell he needed to do. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, they can, I think they'll hold a grudge, but I don't think the grudge is going to be that egregious, right? I think they'll have one eye open. The question is, what is her position when she gets in there? Because I can make an argument when she walks through the door, she has a stake to possibly be the leader of the locker. On the women's side, anyway.
I don't think the women will accept her as the leader at this point.
They won't acknowledge her.
No, they will not acknowledge her.
How dare you?
Somebody you kind of have to acknowledge at this point is DIY. Last week on SmackDown, they won the tag team championships off the Motor City Machine Guns, while also turning heel in the process. Low-key, I kind of feel like the SmackDown tag team championships, they're basically playing hot potato with them, while you never see the Raw tag team championships at all. I do feel like maybe turning DIY will help them. You know, Ciampa was a better heel, and Johnny Gargano was low-key a great heel that you just liked. But, you know, the way. But, how do you feel about these constant flip-flopping of the titles? Let's start there.
In the sense of the storyline, it made sense. Because DIY kind of got the shaft. When Fatu hit the killer combo on him, that was the reset anyway. I'm just keeping it a buck at this point. So, I mean, you gotta, that killer, I mean, so to me, DIY turning heel, because I think the ratio of face to heels over there was way out of proportion. I mean, the only heel tag team you really had that actually had threat was the Bloodline.
I mean, you do have
Waller and Theory, A-Town Under or whatever.
Pretty deadly, but they're more concerned about making a musical than actually wrestling at this point. So.
Yeah, but they're more comedic, and they're not even really, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're not doing anything right now.
Right. So that's the killer with them.
Right.
So I mean, let DIY turn heel. I think they operate better as heels anyway. And the one thing we never got to see is a heel DIY.
That's very true. We saw Johnny Gargano heel, we saw Tommaso Ciampa heel, but never in the same breath.
Right. Like it's always been flip-flopped.
Right.
Like Ciampa was heel, Gargano face, Ciampa face, Gargano heel, and they've never really been on that. And I think they could be the tag team heel because based on their size, they're small enough to where people can actually feel like they're beatable.
Right.
Which helps them when they cheat because it gives them the psychological. The crowd is the psychological with the only reason you win is because you cheat. which gives them more hate. So hey, it's a win-win.
Definitely. We should. I'll give them the benefit of a doubt. Let's see what they do with it.
I mean, give them the benefit of the doubt because honestly, they, with the bloodline out the picture, I mean, the profits are slowly low-key heelish. So their reign, they have a path for a reign.
You know, this
It's
kind
there. It's there.
You know, this is kind of where I feel. You know, obviously on Raw, um, Balor and DJ are the tag team champions. They have yet to defend those titles since winning them. Um, just have one tag team championships. Like, low key, both on Raw and SmackDown, they don't have a lot of tag teams to rotate. You know, okay, well, they have to beat these guys, but then they'll beat these guys too, and these guys. If there's 4 tag teams on each show, then you only have, what, like, you can only win 3 tag team title matches, and then somebody else, and then you just recycle the process. But,
Well, they have a tag team title. They have a tag team epidemic in the sense that they don't put emphasis on it. A tag team emphasis epidemic. There it is.
right.
And that's not just with, I mean, that's all the tag teams, not just that one.
So, if you have one tag team championships that go to Raw and SmackDown, then those three matches that you could have, you know, recycled with those 3 other tag teams magically becomes 7. And it will be more spread out because it's going to go from month to month rather than, you know, week to week. So you do have more room to breed and maybe, you know, build up another tag team in that time on another brand while they're on like, if they're on SmackDown, you know, you're building a tag team on Raw, so when they come back to Raw, you have, you know, a viable tag team, you know, ready to come after them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I know what you mean. It's just I just think that they don't put an emphasis on tag teams like they used to. And that to me is their problem. To me, sometimes I get the feeling that they don't really care, right? And you don't want to make it seem like that they don't care, but their actions are kind of leading to that, right?
Yeah. I mean,
And
Awesome Truth only held the tag team champ. They won the tag team championships, and you never saw them after that.
right. But that's no fault of their own, right? And that's where it kind of gets them, right?
Right.
And I don't know. I think the last time they actually cared about the tag team titles was when the Usos had it. But I think that the problem with it was when they did the Usos thing, and I love the Usos, but when they gave them all the tag team belts, it held everybody. That kind of stagnated the tag team championship, the championships, right? Because with Roman, even with Roman, what they did was they created a new belt. And even though the Usos had the tags, and when Sami Zayn and Owens got it, and the Priest and them got it. They never really distinguished to separate them. They should have just fused them and created a whole new set.
Yeah, that goes to Raw and SmackDown.
No, one that goes to Raw and one that goes to SmackDown. I think because it's, and the only reason I say they shouldn't do that because if the women's tag is showing you that they don't do it well, so what makes you think they're going to do it well with the men's?
Because they low-key did do it well with the men. You know, Sammy, well, obviously the Usos, they were on every show with Roman. So, I mean, it was what it was, you know. But, you know, Sammy and Kevin did it low-key well. You know, they flip-flopped, and it was okay.
Well, they flip-flopped, but the problem was it was two singles as a tag team. And that's my problem. It wasn't a legit tag team.
I mean, even Priest and Balor, when they were tag team champions, they didn't do it as often, and you did know when they were on Raw, you knew that they were Raw superstars, but they did have their matches on SmackDown for those titles as well. So, I mean, it wasn't like they did not do it. They were able to do it well. It's just, you know, making room for it. You know, the problem with the women is that they don't have women tag teams to begin with. It's literally just putting two girls together and calling them a tag team.
Yeah, other than Isla, Dawn, and Fry. Well, I would say this. Kairi Sane and Asuka was a good one. The Pirate Princesses.
Yeah, the Kabuki Warriors.
Or the Kabuki Warriors. The Kabuki East, if you will. I mean, they had it. They just, for whatever reason, and the thing is that they got a gang of singles wrestlers, and these secondary titles will keep them busy. So now you would think that they would have accentuated tag teams to do the same. They're trying to with certain groups, but it's just, you know, it's not as believable.
I mean, a perfect candidate would have been, you know, the Pure Fusion Lesbians, but it seems like they're not even on Raw anymore. Like, they vanished.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, they put them back in the closet. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I think that they, with the new women's tag, singles championship, secondary titles, low-key, I kind of hope that they just get rid of the tag team championships. Too many championships, not enough women. That would make the most.
Or not enough time to give the women emphasis on it.
Very true. And I mean, actually, you know, they did go to NXT. Never mind. Yeah, and
NXT is fucking stacked, and wait till they get to the roster. Watch, they're gonna put Julia and the Core as a tag,
and that's just waiting to make money.
I mean, I'm for it, but
yes. One thing we might not be for is WWE PLEs. Other than there was discussion about WWE PLEs other than WrestleMania and SummerSlam becoming 2 nights. So Backlash 2 nights, Royal Rumble 2 nights, Money in the Bank 2 nights. You know, and with tickets at $5,000 each, I mean, they just feel like we're made of fucking money. Like, fuck you, WWE. Like, this really feels like a cash grab, if I'm being honest, rather than, oh, well, the storylines. Oh, fuck you. You're making a lot of fucking money off our asses. And just to be, you know, not up the money-wise, WrestleMania being 2 nights is kind of low-key special. You know, it gives everybody an opportunity to be on the show. when every pay-per-view is 2 nights, it makes it less special. And then what? WrestleMania goes to 3 nights, and then 4 nights, and then it just no. Like we're watching WrestleMania for a week straight. Like we have lives. Like it's hard to watch 2 nights of WrestleMania to begin with. Am I wrong here?
Well, this is the problem. Remember when I told you that you're serving two masters? This is the problem. Because it's now all in house. So Netflix giving their money, they're like, we want this shit in return, homie. So now, in USA is like, yeah. Because keep in mind, they're aiming these PLEs, and we haven't even had the definitive, okay, are we still on, I mean, more likely we're still on Peacock till a certain time, right?
Right.
And then Netflix gets it, right?
Well, from what I hear, WWE's library, everything, that's WWE, is on Peacock. Netflix is only getting the modern stuff.
And that's where the issue is, because now they have to go 2 nights to appease it. Because keep in mind, you're asking the audience to try to watch it live on Netflix so that it could stay on, I mean, because it's confusing in the sense because SmackDown is still on fucking Peacock. I mean, SmackDown is still on USA, which by theory, it could still, the library is on Peacock.
Right. And I mean, Saturday night's main event later today is on Peacock.
On Peacock. So therefore the library is on Peacock. So hypothetically, what they're doing is the King Solomon. They're splitting the baby in half. That's why they're doing all these multiple titles, because then they could have their main show on Raw, the main Raw pay-per-view, and that portion of it, of the library can go straight to Netflix, and the SmackDown portion can go straight to Peacock. They're trying to please two masters at the same time. Because Peacock can actually say, motherfucker, why y'all doing all this on Netflix when we have your library and we still have the SmackDown portion of the library?
Right.
So that's why I said the whole problem I had with it was them serving two masters. That even when they got the Fox just wasn't a dick like that. But Netflix, who are they beholden to within the cable circle? They're kind of going off the grid, if you will.
Right. New territory.
So that's where that's coming from. It's the serving of two masters. A SmackDown, it's going to be a Raw night to where Netflix gets that part of the library. Then the SmackDown night to where they could technically show it on Netflix, but I wouldn't be surprised if they had us have night one on Raw, on Netflix, and night two on Peacock. I would not be surprised. Although that's fucking dumb. As hell, because you're asking your audience to watch the same show on two different channels.
Right.
So I'm thinking Fox and Peacock and Netflix are saying, okay, we'll let you air it on Netflix, but that library that is SmackDown belongs to us. Or they come up with a way that they can share it.
Well, let's maybe assume that only. Well, actually, no. They did say previews might be coming to Peacock. Okay, so this is definitely a wait and see process, but
A total wait and see.
I kind of feel like let's just remove the part where it's one night on Peacock, one night on Netflix, or PLEs on whatever streaming device. Just from an audience perspective, isn't it a lot to ask your audience to have a 2-night PLE every single month?
Well, it's like they're hearkening it back to when it was Raw and SmackDown pay-per-views, except instead of doing it alternating months or having, because it's no different than, remember when they had the Ruthless Aggression, they would have a Raw and a SmackDown pay-per-view every month?
Right.
It's the same concept, they're just doing it on 2 nights, back to back.
I mean,
It's
and I completely understand, but I'm assuming that it'll be in the same place both nights. And
Yeah, it would be. So you would just be, so it's essentially, at this point, if you're a fan and you travel, you might as well ask them and see if they got a season ticket package. Because that's like dead ass. Just give me the PLE and watch they take that and run with it. The PLE season ticket package.
I mean, seriously. Yeah.
1 year, same seats, no matter what arena. Okay.
No, you're absolutely right about that. I mean, the way things are going right now, WWE, I mean, their lowest tickets are maybe like $100, $150, and that's for like nosebleeds. You know, those original $25 seats. And then you have that $100, $150 times 2. That's $300 for one ticket. And, you know, primarily people go with their family. WWE is a family event. So 300 times 4 is, where am I? 300 is $1,200 just for tickets. And then you and I both know parking is not cheap. Parking is like another $100 at this point. And, you know, people want to eat and maybe have a drink. A beer is $20. T-shirts are $50.
A $50 t-shirt? 35 tops, but I mean AEW, I've seen some 50 ones. Boy, they tripping. But
the last time I was on a WWE event, the t-shirts were $40, and that was in 2023, so last year.
Oh no, 2024. 2024, they're about 35.
So they went down? That doesn't sound right.
I mean, SummerSlam Cleveland, it wasn't $40. I don't recall spending $40 on a shirt.
I think they need to stay to 1-night PLEs for SummerSlam. I think you stretch it with SummerSlam making it 2 nights, but just kind of leave it to WrestleMania and SummerSlam. That's my opinion on the matter.
Well, true, I get it, but they're going to try to make it as a spectacle as it is, or make it a thing. It's kind of like, and I think that's where the UFC comes into play with it. It's that merger with UFC. They're trying to differentiate themselves.
Right. That will conclude our coverage of the news, and now a quick word from our sponsors. So,
Rogue Energy, the only gaming drink company in the world with 4 unique product lines to suit your task at hand, whether it be juices, shakes, smoothies, and everything else in between. Their low-calorie, no-sugar energy formula is the perfect alternative to sugar-filled canned energy drinks and sodas. Their extreme formula provides the most energy, focus, and sports performance possible. Their hydration line offers focus, ingredients without the added caffeine. Drink it anytime you're thirsty. And their shake formula is so delicious. Who doesn't love a cookies and cream, 0-calorie energy milkshake. First and foremost, they've designed every Rogue product line with performance and effectiveness in mind. It is critical that you look at the nutrition panels of drinks when comparing options. There are countless off brands out there that are presenting low quality, poorly dosed formulas that amount to expensive caffeine water. Every formula they produce is designed with optimal levels of high quality ingredients. Additionally, you won't find a powdered gaming drink brand that dissolves better. No need to have chalky textures in your drink. Their taste profiles are unmatched, specifically designed for gamers, athletes, students, entrepreneurs, people with hectic schedules, individuals with low energy, podcasters who can't shut up, people who are health conscious, and so much more. Great as both a pre-workout and as a coffee energy drink replacement. Specifically designed every Rogue product line to be the best gaming drink on the planet. Rogue Energy, more focus, more wins.
Use promo code WrestlingWithe for 10% off your next purchase. And we are wrestling with WWE Saturday night's main event. You got a Saturday morning preview of Saturday night's main event. Same day. It takes place later today at in Uniondale, New York, at the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum. As of right now, there are 5 matches. This is pretty much a PLE on. Well, I mean, the PLEs are on Saturday, so, and I mean it's on Peacock as well. So, I mean, this is basically a PLE. I don't know if you saw the card, but what are your thoughts on it as a whole?
It's short and sweet and to the point.
I agree. I mean, you have your major players. Obviously, there's going to be some gaga in between. But yeah, you have what you need for when you need it. Let's get into it. The first match, tournament finals for the inaugural WWE Women's United States Championship. You got Michigan, Mia Yim versus Chelsea Green. Who wins, Kaliko?
It seems like Chelsea's gonna win it, so Chelsea.
I really hope so. Chelsea.
Because mission ain't no.
I mean,
she ain't winning it. No.
I like Michigan, but the last time these two wrestled, she beat her in a dumpster match. So it would make sense for Chelsea to get the W on her this time around, and obviously for the title.
He needs to tell her sister to quit cripping on Twitter. That's what she is.
And I think Chelsea Green could do phenomenal work with the United States Championship. I think she could make a 24-hour day 26 hours with the way that she would defend that title.
Well, because she's the heel that is beatable.
Right. And you low-key kind of want to punch her in the face, but you can't because she knows how to get out of sticky situations.
True.
And low-key, she is incredibly entertaining.
Very true. But gets it. I mean, but this is what, the semis or the...
No, it's the finals.
This is the finals.
Yep.
This is the finals. That's what I thought. So, yeah, so she's gonna get it. I mean, that the opponent tells you everything you need to know. No offense, and that's no knock on Mission, but if it was Mission, Natalia, certain people, certain names, you're like, yeah, she's winning it. Right? Am I missing something? I mean, and even Mission could beat her. Honestly, I think Mission would beat her 1-on-1, but I wouldn't be surprised if Piper came and, you know.
Yeah. When's the last time Michigan won anything?
Won a title?
And in general, I mean Michigan. It's Michigan.
Holy shit. Damn. Oh my God. I couldn't even tell you. Boy, I am really looking that up. You got me looking at shit. Well, she beat Tiffy.
Oh, gee, she beat Tiffy.
Hey, that matters. I mean,
Where's the goal?
Look at this. She beat Tiffy. She beat Katana Chance to be the #1 contender for the women's speed title, which I think is held by Candice LeRae at this point. See? Lash Legend and Piper Niven.
Oh, gee.
Right. And, I mean, house shows, she's been whooping Chelsea all over that bitch. I mean, her and B-Fab. Dark match, Mission beating Blair Davenport. Mission got some wins. Piper. Other than SmackDown. Oh, a title match? Oh, shit. Well, shit. Io Sky beat the shit out of her. She's got to win over Asuka, nigga. Hey.
He does?
She's got to win over down the road. Yeah, I'll show. I'm looking dead. Hey, okay. See? Now, for the gold, that's a whole different shit. I mean, for the gold, yeah, you got me there.
We have the Women's World Championship match, Liv Morgan versus Io Sky.
Liv, next.
World Heavyweight Championship match, Gunther versus Finn Balor versus Damian Priest, triple threat match. Who wins?
Gunther, because I think Damian and Finn will be too busy fucking with each other. And Gunther gets away with it.
But, I mean, no, if it was a one-on-one with Finn or one-on-one with Damian, I would say, yeah, you're right. But, considering it is a triple threat, you want to keep Gunther strong. You low-key do want to validate Finn Balor. Do you have
Finn ain't winning.
Finn
ain't winning.
Cheat to win?
No, Finn's not winning. Finn doesn't need to win because of the simple fact that Finn is going to be starting to deal with Dominic in the Judgment Day because he's kind of becoming the leader that he's trying, or whether he knows it or not, he's making himself a leader when he's basically telling everybody it's leaderless. And I mean, JD's with him because that's his homie.
Right.
Dirty Dom ain't feeling that shit.
Yeah. And Carlito just kind of goes with the flow.
Always. I go with the flow like Carlito.
And that's cool.
That's cool. And that's cool.
My mind's telling me Gunther, but I still, there's that of a Finn Balor. Damian Priest is definitely not winning. we could scratch out Damian right now, but Finn getting the sneaky W, I can see it. But it's just kind of, and we talked about this last week on the show. What's the path to WrestleMania right now, and who's on it? Can we see Finn Balor versus Damian Priest for the world title at WrestleMania? Maybe. But what does Gunther do? if Gunther is World Heavyweight Champion, what is he doing at WrestleMania? Where the hell is Seth Rollins and CM Punk in all of this? You know,
they don't need the title. They don't need the belt.
It's not a matter of needing the belt. It's about CM Punk wanting what he was promised 1 year ago. You know what I mean?
But my thing, the problem is that when Gunther has a title, he ain't holding it just for 6 months. And it's a tick thing. Because that would mean Punk wins the Rumble, which that ain't happening.
I mean, it could happen.
It ain't happening.
So, and low-key, you're actually right about, you know, Gunther holding the championship. But from WWE's perspective, is Gunther's reign a good reign so far? Or are they, you know, we tried this, it didn't necessarily work as well as we thought it was, time to go to something new?
No, he just got it. And Gunther's reigns usually don't pop off until like 6, 7 months in. Because no one was paying attention to Gunther's IC title until he just started beating everybody's ass.
Which he usually does anyway.
Yeah, so give him some more bangers to beat everybody's ass, and then it'll go about his business. Now, it'll be interesting to see, because I say this because I know Punk's not winning the Rumble. It'd be interesting to see how Elimination Chamber goes, to see if it's for the World Heavyweight title. Or is it for a shot to get to the World Heavyweight title? Because, you know, usually the winner of the Rumble, whatever brand, the opposite is where that Elimination Chamber lies. As a qualifier, if that makes sense.
If Gunther isn't cost the championship before WrestleMania by this person that I'm going to mention, then he's wrestling him at WrestleMania. And that's Goldberg.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell. I mean, don't get me wrong. Gunther versus Goldberg? No.
Either at WrestleMania for nothing or at WrestleMania for the title. Because Goldberg said that he's looking for that retirement match. And, you know, Gunther is not pretty enough to not have a good match with Goldberg. I think he could carry him. So, and, you know, they did that little pop-off at Bad Blood with the two of them. So, you know, it does make sense if you think about it.
But, so that means Goldberg would just have to cost him the title at Elimination Chamber? Because that's the only way I can see that happening. I
mean, I'm assuming Gunther's going to be having other title matches before then. Or even after that. I mean, Goldberg could come into Saturday night's main event and spear Gunther and Finn Balor takes the W. For all we know.
No. No, because that's too long of a build-up.
Okay, that's too long of a build-up and we're still getting to Liv and Rhea at WrestleMania? Or, oh, what about CM Punk and Drew McIntyre? It took them 6 months to get in the ring.
Yeah, but those circumstances are different than the circumstance you're trying to pull up now. Goldberg coming in and costing him the title in December for a wrestling match in April?
It's not out of the realm of possibilities.
I'm not saying it's not out of the realm of possibilities, but the realm of probability is like, hell no. It would make sense if Gunther had the title at the Chamber, defends it at the Chamber, and gets costed the shot to main event WrestleMania. I could see it there. that makes total sense. I could see it as far as the Rumble, but fucking tonight? Hell no.
Well, we shall see. I think
We'll put a soda on it. How about that? Put a soda on it. Put a Coke.
I'll go with Gunther for the W for this one. Even though, like I said, I'm a little about Finn Balor. Then we have just the singles match. Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre. And damn.
Drew beating him like a motherfucker that owes him money. Next. Beating his ass.
I mean, Drew McIntyre, he's only been back like, what, 2 weeks at this point, and he's already made a massive impact. And he did more not doing a small amount than CM Punk did doing a large amount in these last couple of weeks, in my opinion. Because you don't necessarily know what the intentions is with Drew. You know, he's just super pissed off and he's unleashing his wrath on people. You know what I mean? Oh, did we lose Kalika? Oh. Now we have 4 Kalikos.
I know, it goes from 2 to 4.
Yep.
Look at me, man.
Respawn.
That means that 3 more takes, so it's 3 to 1. 3 to 1 vote. God damn it. Anyways.
So, I was saying low-key, Drew McIntyre has been super impact for these last 2 weeks. You know, just attacking members of the Bloodline. What's your thoughts about that?
He ain't forgot. But that's his story arc, though. That was his apex arc. It was everything. Was like fucking him over every chance he got.
Yep.
And he starting with Sammy and working his way up because Roman's coming. He's going after him.
So you think this all ends with Roman and Drew?
Yes, because just because a Roman is a good guy, that doesn't mean that he's atoned for his sins.
Correct.
If that makes sense.
And I mean, Drew's a bad guy now. And if you believe rumor...
No, he's not a bad guy. He's a justified man.
And he told you that to your face.
Told me to my face. He is justified in all of this.
And if you low-key believe the rumors, and it is seeming like those rumors are very much true, Roman Reigns will be a member of the Raw roster starting January 6th. So they will be on the same, brand. So there's not going to be, mix and match. They will be beefing. So I think honestly, I think that's great if they actually do that. But, it needs to be... They need to give Drew his due at this point.
Oh, they're gonna give him his due. It's like he's picking them one by one, god damn it.
Right. Alright, and that brings us to the undisputed WWE Championship match. Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. Who wins, Kaliko?
Depends on which Kevin Owens shows up. And the reason I say that is because I'm dead ass. If NXT Kevin Owens shows up, Cody got a whole fucking world hurt on his ass. Now the odds of that happening are slim to none, so Cody's gonna fuck with it. Because he's bringing back Winged Eagle, not to mention Jesse the Body is fucking calling this. Come on, man, we We didn't even talk about that part yet.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Cody. If Kevin Owens NXT shows up, ooh, 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 it's on. But I see Orton coming back and fucking him over.
I mean, that's a good possibility. Low-key, I kind of feel like even if Kevin Owens, NXT Kevin Owens shows up, that it's still going to be Cody. I just don't see Cody winning this. Kevin winning this. So, is it going to be a great match?
I don't know. Saturday night main event, wasn't that when Andre beat Hogan?
That's true.
Gotta have a little controversy.
I mean, I kind of threw the controversy out there with Gunther, so I mean, it still could happen.
That shit ain't happening, man. Boy, stop. Stop. Just stop.
But we'll agree Cody takes the W in this one.
We agree. Well, it's like Cody winning is like what? Yep. Itty to me. It's itty to me.
I don't see it being 50-50.
Yeah. They're not gonna have this show in all the fucking faces. There's gonna be some bullshit.
I mean,
Now the question is where the bullshit is coming, because the bullshit ain't coming. Because keep in mind, the bullshit ain't coming with Chelsea Green is the given.
yeah.
Liv is the given.
Mm-hmm.
Gunther is the given. Drew is the given. This could be where the bullshit pops. I could see Orton coming back fucking Cody. Man, I'm telling you, I'm saying?
I know what you mean, but I mean, then you have a full card of heels winning. Not one face would have won in this show. You know what I mean?
I mean, personally, I think there's no such thing as face and heels. It's just perspectives. I keep telling you this. Because Kevin Owens is not really a heel. If you look at what the fuck he's been going through, I'd be pissed too. If I teamed up with you to fucking get this nigga, kill our enemy, and you team with him, I'd be mad as fuck too.
Yeah, and then he did.
Yeah, but any person would be mad in that situation.
I mean,
Drew's shit, he's just justified because he said so. That's it. But
and you're not fucking with Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, I ain't fucking with Drew. I ain't fucking with that. But I mean, the triple threat, Gunther is just basically the person proving that he can beat both of these motherfuckers by himself. It's not even a heel thing. That's just I want to be the motherfucker that I think I am. If that makes sense.
No, I do. It does.
Liv, that's probably your heel, if you want to call it a heel. Yeah, you could call that a heel because really there's no reason. I mean, honestly, this match, there's no reason for this match.
It's just to get her to Rhea again.
Bingo. And then Chelsea and Mitchell, that's new. So, I mean, Chelsea and Mitchell, that's just Chelsea getting the get back.
Right.
Chelsea's really the only heel on this thing, and she's not really a heel because watch they cheer her ass tonight. Watch they cheer her ass like she's fucking Michigan beating up on Ohio State. Watch.
No, you're right.
They're gonna cheer her ass. They're gonna cheer her ass like fucking Bobby Boucher the Water Boy. Come on.
So yeah.
She's gonna be a heel, and they're gonna be yelling, "Let's go Chelsea." Tell me I lie.
No, you're probably going to be right about that. The roof,
So,
the roof is
what
going to be blown off that place when Chelsea wins that title.
because everybody wants Chelsea to win. It's kind of like when Corbin won King of the Ring and he was a heel. And motherfuckers was like, please let this motherfucker win.
Do people low-key want Baron Corbin to win King of the Ring?
Yeah. You didn't hear the oh man, you need to YouTube that bitch. The ovation he got? Bruh, you would have thought he won WrestleMania.
I tried to block
You would have thought.
I try to block Baron Corbin out of my mind as much as possible, if I'm being honest.
I wouldn't.
But I do.
I would. Me personally, he's a good hand. Did the best with what he had.
Depends on what you're doing with the hand. I just find it interesting. The last Saturday night's main event, because I have it in front of me, it took place July 28, 2008. Well, actually, it aired on August 2nd, I should say. The matches were, and there was only 3 matches. John Bradshaw Layfield, JBL, teamed with Kane and Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase to defeat John Cena, Batista, and Crime Time, Shad Gaspar, and JTG. The second match was the Great Khali defeating Jimmy Wang Yang. And the main event was...
Who would have thought that? Jimmy Wang Yang, no. Who would have thought that shit?
And the main event was Edge defeating Jeff Hardy. Yeah.
Jimmy Wang Yang, man, come on, bro.
At some point, we should do a watch-along of this show.
What, the July 28, 2008 one?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be against it. Edge to beat Jeff Hardy, Paul London beating Charlie Haas. The main event was the Layfield and the Legacy.
Oh, yeah. That
defeating,
would be interesting.
Which is crazy because, I mean, why the fuck would Kane team with Legacy and not Randy Orton? But that's a whole another thing.
I don't think
you know who was the commentator on that shit? CM Punk. Hey, that's some shit.
Yeah.
You can't make this shit. Everybody comes home.
Yep.
But Cody Rhodes is the only person on that roster that was on main event.
This is true.
That is actively there, but yeah.
I mean, Edge went to the minor leagues, AEW.
Damn.
CM Punk is still there, but, you know, he's not on the card. He might have a commentary spot, but we'll see about that. Low-key, that would be awesome if Jesse the Body Ventura and CM Punk did commentary together.
Nah, because it's two different dudes.
Take my fucking...
I mean, what, Punk is going to be the Michael Cole?
Oh no, put Michael Cole in between them. That will be a riot. Alright.
I still don't like Big Booty Bailey losing Chelsea Green.
That will conclude our coverage of Saturday night's main event. I don't think we're going to be doing a review of this show, as this will be our last recorded show of the year. So, hope you enjoyed it.
So in the first of the year, we got to go over all this shit. Like we come back, it's gonna be like, God damn, we gotta cover all this shit. I mean, you have to. We can't. We just can't. Like, no.
Well, the next time we'll be previewing and reviewing will be January 4th. So, I mean, that will be the day of what we'll be previewing right now. And that is we are wrestling with New Japan Pro Wrestling's Wrestle Kingdom 19. Low-key, I don't remember the last time we talked about New Japan in the preview and review sense.
When Okada was, this is post Okada, so yeah.
Yeah. The venue will be the Tokyo Dome in Tokyo, Japan. Looking at this card, it's not that bad for what they have.
Mm-hmm.
It does low key kind of feel New Japan. My concern with it is this going to make me want to watch after New Year's Dash? Is this going to get me to watch New Beginnings in January, February? You know what I mean?
Well, depending on how things play, because there's a certain match that I'm interested in, actually.
Me as well. Maybe we have the same match in mind.
Let's see. Let's see if it's the same match.
Let's get into the card. There's 9 matches. Pretty solid, to say the least. 4-way tag team match for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships. Intergalactic Jet Setters Kevin Knight and Kushida versus Ichiban Sweet Boys Robbie Eagles and Kosuke Fujita versus Cats 2/2 TJP and Francisco Akira versus the Bullet Club War Dogs Clark Connors and Driller Maloney. Who wins, Kaliko?
Watch. I'm thinking Catch 22, but something tells me it's gonna be the Ichiban Sweet Boys. And watching ends up being the Intergalactic Jet Setters. But I'm gonna put my money on. I had to put my money on it. Kushida's this is his first New Japan in a minute.
I don't even, maybe he was on Wrestle Kingdom
last year,
but I don't remember that.
I don't remember. So if this is his first one back,
I mean, Kushida and Knight are the title holders right now. So
who are the title holders?
Kushida and Kevin Knight.
Oh, then I mean, it would make sense that they get the win. I think, yeah, I go with them. Because if Kushida was not on Wrestle Kingdom last year, I would say that this year he would get it.
Keep in mind, I haven't watched New Japan in a hot minute. So, I don't necessarily know, what's hot, who's not, etc., etc. From what I remember, the junior tag titles almost always change hands at Wrestle Kingdom. It's just a matter of who it is. Catch 22, they won it last year, if I'm not mistaken, over Bullet Club War Dogs.
Well, then it's going to be the Ichiban Street Boys.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a flyer. There you go. The people that ain't thought about it.
I'll go with Ichiban Sweet Boys too. Give Fujita his first title. Maybe he's won a title since I've last seen him. I don't know. It's been a while. Second match on the card, Mayu Iwatani versus Azum for the IWGP Women's Championship. It's ironic this title was practically made for Mercedes Moné, and she's not there in any shape, way, or form.
Bullshit, because she got the New Japan Strong. That's the one they made for her.
Actually, yeah, you're completely right about that.
That's the one, because they was not giving her. Told you they make one that's purely for Japanese, and then one Gaijin title. That's what they're doing. We don't want to fuck over the people that come over here and actually, spend 8 months over there and don't get shit out of it. Yeah,
Who wins, Kaliko?
I'm gonna say Azum.
I might go with Mayu. Three-way match for the NJPW World Television Championship. Ren Narita versus Jeff Cobb versus Rehu Iwa. Iwa? I think it's Iwa.
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 Right?
Let's just call him Iwa. He's an Ewok.
Sounds like Ewok.
Yeah.
It's an Ewok.
Yep. Who wins, Kaliko?
I'm going Cobb. Putting money on Cobb. Cobb had it, lost it, he get it back.
I'll go with Narita. Lumberjack match. If Evil wins, Tanahashi will retire immediately.
Well, that ain't happening. Tanahashi.
So unanimously, Hiroshi Tanahashi.
No shit. He literally said that was his final year, and you think they go cut that shit short? Hell no.
He retires
get his
when
farewell
he wants
tour.
to, bitch.
He's getting his farewell tour. President of New Japan's getting his farewell tour. I got it.
He's not getting his flowers. He's taking his flowers.
I mean, with his guitar.
Yes.
With his air guitar.
Never Openweight Championship match. If Take a Shit is still AEW International Champion by January 4th, then the match will be for both championships.
Well, it is for both championships, because I told you.
Yes. Shingo.
I told you. I told you this shit 5 months ago. Like fucking Ricochet. I'm like, fuck out of here. They ain't fucking that up. Man, please. Fuck out of here.
Shingo.
Because Takagi versus Take a Shit up.
Yep.
Now, this is interesting because, I mean, Takagi at one point was the guy.
You know what the problem is here? If this was just Shingo Takagi versus Colt Katsuga Take Shida for the Openweight Championship, I'd say Shingo all day long. But it's for...
No shit.
Exactly. But it's for both titles. It's for Take a Shit's title and Shingo's title. And as much as of a mark Tony Khan is, does he want a New Japan wrestler holding his championship is the question. Obviously,
he already got one, and it's crickets. It's crickets. He already got one, and it's crickets. It is the fucking arguably the greatest goddamn Japanese wrestler of all time.
Who are you talking about? Oh, Okada.
No shit.
But I mean, he's AEW wrestler now. He's not a New Japan wrestler, so.
So Take Shida is winning. That's what we're basically getting at.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Take Shida was taking all the L's, and now he's due for his dub. And he's cashing that bitch in. Cashing that hoe in.
Digging for gold.
Hey. He wants to be the Japanese Sasha Banks. Walk around with 2 belts.
IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship match. Championship, yeah. We have Dookie versus El Desperado. This has to be Desperado, right?
I mean, if it was well, never mind. El Desperado. Yeah, because usually that one changes hands unless it's Takahashi.
True. Low-key, I want to see Takeshita and Dookie be a tag team.
That ain't happening.
But I mean,
Take
they're Bell brothers.
Dookie takes his shit.
IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship. David Finlay versus Yota Tsuji. Who wins?
Now this is interesting because this has a play on what's going to happen for the World Championship. To me, because I think if Tsuji wins, Saber's winning. If Finlay wins, Umino's winning.
Really?
I don't think
You
both
think they're
are.
not
Yeah,
connected?
because they're both in the same faction, if I'm not mistaken.
No. Tsuji is Los Ingobernables, Finley's Bullet Club. Zack Sabre is what are they called?
Oh yeah,
The Mighty Don't
they used to
Kneel.
be.
And Shota is low-key Dead Rider.
Oh shit! The way his face looks, he looks like. Oh man, you know what? He kind of low key looks like Tanahashi's kid.
I mean, that's what he was going for.
But the thing is, I don't think they're gonna usher. They're either. I don't. They're not gonna fuck over the only. Nah, I'm gonna go Finlay. Because it's tough. Because the next match. Well,
we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
But let's get to it.
It's tough because, I'm going Finlay. I'm gonna go Finlay.
I'm gonna go with Finley too, just because they've been 50-50 with Yoda. They've given him good opportunities, but they haven't really pulled the trigger on him. So, and I don't think they're quite ready to pull that trigger on him. So, a loss to David Finlay, I don't think it really hurts him all that much, if I'm being honest. So, yeah, Finlay for the W. That brings us to the match I was the most interested in, when my eyes popped when I actually saw this. Tetsuya Naito versus Hiromu Takahashi. I had imagined this
Yes.
was a low-key retirement match for Naito. Which is kind of weird, because they literally just won Tag League together. And now they're wrestling each other at Wrestle Kingdom. But I digress.
I mean, but the thing is that this is one of those things where it's like, Takahashi's about to be the leader.
He's about to be the man.
He's the man. I mean, the problem is he always was the man, but he was just the man, and he was a one-man division at one point.
Yes.
I thought he would have moved up when he fought Evil.
But I mean, look at where New Japan is right now. This is the WrestleMania of New Japan. When it comes to wrestling shows, when it comes to the magnitude to them, it's WrestleMania and then it's Wrestle Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
There's no Okada. Hiroshi Tanahashi has been past his prime. Kota Ibushi's in the hospital at this point. Kenny Omega is on the next night, which we'll talk about. We got Naito is in the is in the twilight of his career, and we all kind of know it. We need guys in New Japan that's gonna, they need star power, and they don't have that star power right now. They're getting it with Yota Tsuchi and Soda, but they're not there yet. I mean, the main event literally tells you where New Japan is right now. It's not. They don't have main event caliber wrestlers right now.
They knew that when Okada was hitting the door.
Yes, and it's kind of just been a building block process to kind of build these guys. I think they low-key thought that they had more time, and now they're just on the fast track.
I mean, but this match is essentially, and for those who don't know, put it in college terms, it's like Saban versus Kirby. This is Jordan versus Kobe. This is Kobe versus LeBron. It's like if LeBron went against MJ. I mean, I can make so many references, but it's just big in the sense that Naito was always one, and Takahashi, for the most part, even though he was two, you can make the argument he was 1B.
By popularity alone.
Yeah, he is just as popular as Naito. And so it's interesting that Hiromu is taking this match and accepting it. And it's almost kind of like a passing. To me, it seems like it was a passing of the torch.
Right. I feel
Takahashi's about to be the guy. And the problem is, who's the battle for number 2 between Takagi and Tsuji?
Right.
Because it always felt like, I mean, Five Guys is gone, so I mean, Sonata's, huh?
There are 4 guys now.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So I mean, he could always find his way home, but
yeah, what about Sonata at this point?
You say what?
Where's Sonata at this point? Last I heard, he joined Bullet Club.
Oh yeah, that's right. He is Bullet Club. No, that's right. That is right. He went all the way. He went all the way left. He clicked left, and then clicked it all the way left. But I mean, it's gonna be crazy to see it. It's just, but yeah, that's right. He is in Bullet Club. I totally forgot. He founded a group that said, "Fuck you, bitches, I'm gone." Tells you everything you need to know. But anyways, back to the match in hand. This has to be Takahashi's time. And I think this is an emotional match. This is Wrestle Kingdom's version of HBK Ric Flair.
Yeah. I agree with that. When I saw this match, my eyes popped. And if I didn't know any other match that was going to be on this card other than Naito and Hiromu, I still would watch it. Because, yeah, it's... New Japan hasn't given me a match that has attracted me to New Japan in a very long time. And this makes me want to watch New Japan. And it's not because it's going to be a long rivalry for the next year. It's because, low key, I think this is it for Naito. This is the passing of the torch. You know, he's not going to go on a, farewell tour and, take his bow and take his flowers. Naito's the type of guy that just goes into the night and says adios. And I think that's this match. And I think he's giving it to Hiromu. And I think Hiromu's going to take the W. And it's going to be a bittersweet moment. Alright. And
that it will be.
Yeah.
And going back to the David Finlay, he's winning. Shit. Should have known better. Because guess who he's fighting on January 5th?
We will get to that. What was I at? IWGP Heavyweight, a World Heavyweight Championship match. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Suda Umno. 50-50 Zack, Suda Umno. Who wins? Kaliko.
If there was ever a time for 50-50 to pull his shit out, it would be here. Tell me I'm lying.
I would say that you are on hard crack if you think that they're going to let a Gaijin win the main event of Tokyo Dome against a Japanese wrestler.
Oh, he's winning. He's winning.
Suda Uno, if they didn't give Kenny Omega, who is practically Japanese at this point, the W in the main event of Wrestle Kingdom, what makes you think Zack Sabre Jr. has a chance in hell?
They desperate.
I mean, Zack Sabre Jr. literally said, I want to cash in my G1 title match for King of Pro Wrestling. Because he knew he wasn't winning Wrestle Kingdom main event. He wanted to get the title reign, have it for a couple months, defend it in his home country before he drops it. And I wouldn't be surprised if they gave it back to him in New Beginnings. But he is not winning the main event of Wrestle Kingdom.
He will.
Alright, so you are the Zack Sabre camp.
I'm going 50-50. You damn right.
Alright. Well, we were very opposed this time around when it came to our predictions.
Hey, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
That we will. We shall, that will conclude our coverage of Wrestle Kingdom. We will do a full review of this show on January 11th, so mark your calendars. And we are wrestling with Wrestle Dynesty. It's January 5th in the Tokyo Dome, and it will be a part of the promotions being included in this is New Japan Pro Wrestling, All Elite Wrestling, Consejo Mundial de Lucha Libre, Ring of Honor, and World Wonder Ring Stardom. So, yeah. I don't know if you've had a chance to look at this card, but interesting to say the least. Did we lose Kaliko? Was Kaliko here?
I mean,
Yep.
I'm there, but yeah, it seems like it's interesting. We'll see.
It's kind of
I
hodgepodgey,
mean,
but we'll see.
it's
Well, we have a tag team match for the vacant IWGP Tag Team Championships. Great Khan and TBD versus the middle-aged fucks, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. Can't even get a match on their own promotion. Had to go back to Japan.
oh god.
Who wins, Kaliko?
I would think Great O'Con and the mystery partner, because they are not gonna get the Bucks back. Like, bitch, y'all left us to go get this title? No.
I mean, low-key, I feel the same, but then again, I wouldn't put it past New Japan just to give them the titles to say, hey, the Young Bucks are tag team title champions again. Watch the show again. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I mean, nah. Because the Bucks are not associated with anybody.
True.
They're not associated with a gang. That's the one thing I noticed. Japanese wrestling is all about gangs. They love gang culture.
Very true.
Gang.
I'll go with Great O'Con and TBD.
TBD.
Keep in mind these next couple matches aren't for titles. David Finlay versus Borgo Brody King. Who wins?
I don't know what you're watching, but that's a title match from what I noticed.
From what I'm looking at,
for the global heavyweight championship.
I mean, I'm on Wikipedia right now.
Oh, that's why.
Okay.
That's for the time. That's why I was like, yeah, old buddy winning. Old buddy winning.
I'm assuming
he's winning.
I'm assuming it's different if obviously.
Oh, you're right. No title match. You're right. No non-title match. So Brody King got to beat the piss out of his ass.
I'm going with
for old time's sake.
I'm going with Finlay. I don't think they're gonna give Brody a less than middle card or a W on one of their main champions. We got Shota Umino versus Claudio Ida Cannoli. Who wins?
This is interesting because they got to keep Claudio. I mean, is Claudio still? Is he coming in as the Click member? Because I feel like it should be Claudio, but I think I'm gonna go with Claudio.
I'm gonna go with Claudio too. Even if Shota wins the title, he's the student, not yet the master. So, a Claudio Shota match down the road for the title, I think that this will set that up. Alright, the most interesting match on the card, Kenny Omega versus Gabe Kidd. Who wins? Oh, and I think we lost Kaliko again.
Nah, you didn't lose me. You remember when Hurricane Katrina happened? And they had the first game in the New Orleans Superdome after Hurricane Katrina.
Okay, yeah.
And it was the New Orleans. I remember it vividly because it was the New Orleans Saints versus the Atlanta Falcons, and it just seemed like the Atlanta Falcons was just there to be the sacrificial lambs known as the overwhelming emotional support. That's what's going to happen for the whole nation was on New Orleans side that night. That's what this is going to be when Kenny Omega gets in this ring with Gabe. I'm just letting you know right now. It's just going to be the whole nation of Japan going with Ken, and I mean practically the wrestling community in a whole coming back, welcoming him back, and yeah, they got to beat that ass.
Yeah.
Sorry, Cape Kid, you're the sacrificial lamb because Omega about to wax your ass.
Next match, International Women's Cup Final, 4-way match. Winner receives a Women's Championship match from the participating promotion of their choosing. So, low-key, if one of these women wins this match, they could have an NXT Women's title match coming up.
What?
But it's participating promotion of their choosing. So I mean, if that's that door is an option, then yeah, they're gonna take that.
I don't think Athena's going back to NXT anytime soon.
I mean, I think it'd be nice for her to get out of the woods every once in a while. We got Willow Nightingale, Athena, Persephone, and TBD. Persephone is from Smell, just for anybody wondering, and TBD is from Stardom. Who wins, Kaliko?
Like, who the fuck is TBD in Stardom?
I mean, the last show we have Azum, so I mean a TBD doesn't sound like out of the realm of possibilities.
But I don't think Azum would do it if she's winning the titles.
I'm talking about
fuck title? And what the fuck title would Athena go for? Okay, that throws me off.
I mean,
what title would she go for? She's the Ring of Honor champion, literally for like 8 years, it seems.
I mean, literally a title match that gets her off the island of Misfit Toys. I mean, this is like that. You know, if you're on an island, you know, in the middle of nowhere, and then that one ship comes, and you have, you know, a flare gun. This is her opportunity, like low key.
I don't see her. I don't see it happening, but okay.
So who do you say is gonna win this?
My mind is yelling TBD, but it's too many TBDs winning this. So with that being said, I'm gonna go Willow. But then again, Willow, gosh, it's tough. Fuck it, roll the dice on black. Willow.
I'm going to go with Athena. I think this is finally her opportunity to show what she's actually could do and the benefits she can to women's pro wrestling. Finally. Next match, we got Yota Tsuji versus Jack Perry the Platypus. Who wins, Kaliko?
I
feel like this is pretty cut and dry.
I'm trying to think who would win that?
I feel Yota Tsuji for the W. I don't think Jack Perry has any chance of beating Yota Tsuji whatsoever.
No chance for Platypus Perry?
No. Yota Tsuji is not Doofenshmirtz Smokes.
Nope. Alright. I mean, Yeah, you're right, Suji. There you go.
Never Openweight Championship match. Shingo Takagi versus Konosuke takes. Oh, no, it's either going to be Shingo Takagi or Konosuke takes Shida versus
Well, we already
Tomohiro
said it's
Ishii.
Konosuke takes Shida, so
Yeah, I think we both agreed on Take a Shit. So, Take a Shit versus Ishii.
and I'm gonna go Ishii because they like, you got your moment, bitch. Give us the belt back. That's what this screams.
You know what? I couldn't agree more. Yeah, Ishii. I don't remember the last time Ishii won a championship, but this makes sense. Alright, and that brings us. Honestly, I don't know what the main event at this show is going to be. Low-key, it could just be Kenny Omega, for all we know. But the last match we'll be talking about is Zack Sabre Jr. versus Rick Lachey. Who wins, Kaliko?
It ain't gonna be Ricochet because he's too busy making AEW exist because of him.
I mean, he can't get a W on X with some of these back and forwards he's getting. What makes him think that he could get one on 50-50 Zack Sabre?
But 50-50 cashed it in, didn't he?
What do you mean?
Didn't they already fight?
I don't remember that.
Because, well, it's funny because Ricochet came in and made it clear that he was trying to be the number one contender for the championship. You know how, like, New Japan, you gotta go in and smack him in the face and say, I want your belt type shit.
Yeah.
That's what he kind of pushed it on him. And that was when it was, I want to say that was like a month ago. So that's why I think Zack Sabre Jr. is winning, because the whole point of it is for them two to fight at Wrestle Dynasty for the title. Me personally.
Well, I mean, if Zack Sabre is losing the title at Wrestle Kingdom the night prior,
Which he's not.
What makes you think he's losing to Ricochet the night after? We are talking
I never said he was losing. I just said.
But I did.
That
I said he's losing.
Yeah. No, I never said he's losing to Ricochet. Ricochet losing. But the problem is that how can I put this? Ricochet is not gonna be beating anybody right now. Especially Zack Sabre Jr. You really think he's gonna win against the top gaijin in New Japan right now?
Oh, hell no.
And just to put that into context, he will be the champion walking through the door. Because New Japan, if there's one match that they're going to show, bitch, our champion will beat the shit out of that little fucker. No offense, Ricochet.
I think all the offense is given. I think we were unanimous. Zack Sabre wins this one. We were clear on that, at least. Alright, and that will conclude our coverage of Wrestle Dynasty. Full review of that show on the January 11th. Thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, both on YouTube and Castbox. Join us next week as we have our top fives of 2024. That should be fun. And then the week after that, we will have a watch along of the 2000 Royal Rumble. almost 25 years to the date. Um, yeah, and then January 4th, we are back, kicking off year 6 of Wrestling With. It's been a crazy roller coaster year 5. Whether you've been joining us for the first time or through all 5 years or picked us up somewhere in there of, thank you for listening. We did some great stuff this year. We had some lows this year as well, RIP Scooter. But we are going to be making a full comeback, get that hot tag next year, and bring you as much content as possible. Bring it in hot, bring it in Wrestling With style, and just try to put the E in entertainment for all of our listeners. And we will be doing that this Tuesday as well as we interview Nick Lukanen, and this Wednesday as we interview Samir. Follow us at Wrestling With E, both on Extra and Instagram for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. Follow me personally at JamesC993. Where can we find Kaliko?
Hey, Kaliko, and I echo those, man. 2024 was pretty wild shit for everyone at this point. But yeah, man, went through some lows, and all we could do is just look up from there. And it's been fun. It's a fun year. But 2025, I'm looking to travel to these wrestling destinations, so I will be opening a GoFundMe for this. I can write it off as taxes, so you can just clearly be able to look out for the link for that.
And I'm sure it will all be documented in Kaliko Chronicles, no?
Yes, the Chronicles will be coming back, and it's starting off hot, man. And I mean, you got well, I don't even know we announced it, but NXT's doing a show in LA, New Year's Evil.
Yeah, that's right.
So, I mean, I'm looking into that. I'm looking into Raw, looking into SmackDown, looking into yeah, it's gonna be a lot. But I'm also trying to look into more of the indie stuff, you know. So as I say, so
yep.
Indie shows, I'm down for 'em. And hey, if you got any suggestions, hit your boy up. I'm down to pop up.
For Kaliko Yachts and Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling With Entertainment.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling With Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.